Hey friends, today we're going to draw some tortilla chips. We will be painting them with watercolor when we're done. If you want to participate in this project, you can grab a pencil, a Sharpie, an eraser. Make sure you have a Sharpie and not just a regular marker so that it doesn't bleed when we put the paint on. You need paintbrushes, water, watercolor paints, a paper towel, and some watercolor paper. Also make sure you have the watercolor paper. It's important for blending if you're gonna be doing some shading. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with 2 triangle shapes. I kind of round the bottom of my triangles to make them look more like tortilla chips. We're gonna do another one right over here. Again, round the bottom. Makes it look a little more 3D and also makes it just more of the shape of a real chip. Next, we'll put a heart right in the middle, kind of down low a little bit though. We'll connect their 2 hands like they're holding hands. And then we'll do their other arms. Just a line down and then a little hand, line down and a hand. When you draw your arms in, make sure they kind of line up with the other arms so that one's not way up here and one's way down here. Okay, let's add the cheese to this guy here. So we're just gonna go a little bit above where we drew our triangle shape and kind of go around our pencil line and then up and draw a drip down, another drip down, a third drip down, and again on this side just a little bit past the tortilla chip, kind of like the cheese is on top of the chip. Okay, we're going to draw the salsa on this girl here. We're going to do the same thing, kind of a little bit past the triangle, just some curves down, drips down. Okay, and then inside of the salsa we're just going to add some little shapes, little peppers or whatever. There's different things in salsa. You can add just a few of those. Okay, all right, next we're going to draw the eyes. So you can see that they're looking at each other, so I don't have the eyes right in the front, so we're going to do the first eye kind of in the middle and then draw a half circle like a C. And then you can just draw in a little highlight. Then we're going to do the next eye right beside that. Same thing, a C and a highlight. And then we're going to draw a smile. So about here on his face, a little curve, then a curve down. All right, we're going to do the girl's eyes now. This time they're going to be closer to this side. So we're going to draw a circle, curve this way, and then again a highlight. And the other eye. Okay, now for her lips I gave her some lipstick, so we're going to curve up and down like this, and then draw the line up, a little cheek area, and then the bottom lip like this. I also gave her some eyelashes, so just 2 little curved lines on either eye. Okay, let's add in his shoes, 2 lines down and then kind of around and connect. And the same thing on the other side. All right, for her shoes I gave her some high heels, so just draw a line like this, a curve down, straight across, up, back down, over, and then connect. And then you can do that on the other side as well. If you want to just do regular circle type shoes, you can do that too. And then we'll draw her legs in there too. All right, so I think I have mine all sketched out, so I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to go over all the lines. I will be making some of these lines a little thicker. If you want to do that too, you can. If not, that's okay. Just gives it a little bit more of a 3D appearance. Right under here I make it a little thicker. Here, I also make it thicker. When you do the eyes, you can go ahead and fill in the black part of the eye. Just make sure not to fill in your highlight. I also filled in his legs and her legs with my black. Okay, also when I did my chips, I did some little dots on it just to give it some texture. So you can just put some little dots all over your chip with your marker. You don't want to put the dots up in the cheese, just on the chip part. Okay. And again, when you do her eyes, make sure to try not to fill in that highlight. Okay, and then don't forget to put in your dots all over the chip on this side. All right, I think I'm done drawing. So I'm going to take my eraser and erase all of my pencil lines now, and you can do the same. All right, I think we're ready to paint. So I'm going to grab a paintbrush. I'm going to start with this one and my paper towel. It's good to have your paper towel on hand. We're going to start with the cheese on the top of this nacho or tortilla chip. So we're just going to fill it all in with some water and maybe a little bit of paint. Okay, I did leave a little bit of a highlight on the cheese. Sometimes cheese looks a little bit shiny, so I'm not going to fill it in completely in one area on this cheese. I'm going to make it a little darker on this side. And down in here you can make some a little darker underneath and on the bottom parts. I'm just going to leave that highlight right there. I'm going to add a tiny bit more on this side, and then I think my cheese is ready. So I'm going to rinse off my brush well, and then I'm going to move to the tortilla chip. Now I made my tortilla chip a yellowish color first, and then I added some brown to give it more of a golden color. So I'm just going to go in with some yellow, not a super bright yellow. So you don't have to use a lot of paint. Just fill it in with some water. back in with a little bit more yellow. Spread that out. Try your best not to get in the whites of the eyes or the highlight in the eye. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of brown, and I mostly put the brown kind of where it would be darker. So under here, under the cheese area, and kind of pull that out a little bit into the yellow. And then I also added brown around the edges. So I figure that's where the chip's probably going to be the darkest. And grab some water and kind of blend that in. Okay, all right, I think that chip is done. So while we're on this color, I'm going to go ahead and do the other chip. I'm just going to add some water again like I did last time. A little bit of yellow, kind of move it around in there. You can see as you move it around, it starts to get lighter. So it's not covering so much of a big space. I mean, it is covering a bigger space, is what I meant to say. All right, I'm going to go in with some brown again. Again, under here, where the salsa is dripping down, would be a little darker. So I'm adding some brown there. And I'm going to take some brown and go around the edges. I actually made this tortilla a lot lighter than I made those two tortillas. So it's okay if yours looks a little bit different than mine. Even mine, my new one looks different than my old one. Now I'm going to rinse my brush again. I'm going to add in some green on his feet. So this boy Chip's feet, we're going to add some green. You can make his shoes whatever color you want though. You can make it a little bit darker on the bottom for just a little shadow. Just like that. And we're going to move on to some red. I rinsed off my brush, grabbing some red paint and filling in this heart. I did leave a highlight in there, so I'm not going to fill in the whole thing. I'm just going to leave just a small spot that's a little lighter than the rest. Okay, you can go ahead and fill in her lips and her shoes with this red. Okay, and then we're going to start on the salsa. Salsa is a little tricky because you have to go around all these little spots. So it might take you a little bit longer than some of the other spots just because you have so much to go around. You can just take your time. If your brush starts to feel dry, just add a little tiny bit more water. Now I did leave a little bit of it lighter on the top of that first one. If you have too much paint, you can go in with just some water and pick some of it up, just like this. So I didn't quite leave my highlight up there. Okay. All right, we're gonna go in and fill in the little peppers or whatever is in salsa. I used green and orange, so you can just do some of them orange, some of them green. You can add other colors if you want. All right, I think I'm done with my tortilla chips. I hope you had fun painting and drawing with me. I hope that we can paint again together another time. If you liked doing these, go ahead and subscribe and check out some other links that are in the description. I'll see you again soon. Bye.